That should do it. I'm sorry. We got it. Got it. I think we're all in. Happy Friday. Yes, Romy, how are you today? Good morning, Ramona. I know, John, we got it. It's done. It's done. All right. Sorry. A little tick of the settings. All right. Hope you're all well today on a Friday. It's wet, but it's Friday. We have that going for us, right? All right. Let's get the forecast out of the way. Today, scattered thunderstorms during the morning, becoming more widespread this afternoon. High near 81. Chance of rain today, 70%. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms, low near 73. And then tomorrow for your Saturday, rain and thunderstorms, a high near 81. I think Sunday's the same thing. Yeah. 80% chance of rain on Sunday. It's a rainy weekend. Just get that through your melon and absorb it and just go on with it. 75 in Milton. It's 82 Gulf Breeze, 80 in Navarre, and 78 in Pensacola. There you go. Sorry about the audio issues. Glad you're here. Good morning. Good morning. Risers, welcome. We got some. Going to take your phone calls. By the way, this is Sunrise Santa Rosa. 850-771-0049 is the number to call. And if you're texting, no pronouns. For the love of God, please, no pronouns. All right. It's a thing. It makes it very difficult. All right. Don't forget that or please keep in mind that the Bands on the Blackwater is off tonight because of the rain. It's canceled. So looking forward to next week. Hopefully all that will be gone. It is a thing. It's a thing. All right. So at the Milton City Council meeting the other night, they were expecting CEO Doug Sills from the Santa Rosa County or Santa Rosa Medical Center. He was supposed to show up and talk, right? He was supposed to show up, and it got out. It was on the agenda, and so there were going to be protesters there, and there were protesters there. But Doug Sills was a no-show. But listen to this. Mayor Heather said, unfortunately, Doug, were not able to be here this evening. She hoped to thank nurses for their work during the pandemic. But a spokeswoman for Santa Rosa Medical Center reported Wednesday it was actually Lindsay who postponed the hospital's appearance. Oh, wait a minute. Little mincing of words. They were not able to be here this evening. Why? Because you disinvited them, or because you said, let's do this another day? Then she lied, Renee says. Well, or did she just parse words? Oh, I don't think she lied. I think she misspoke, according to the county commissioners. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that fascinating? Well, Tom says he'll be brought back unannounced. Maybe it was confusion caused by an anonymous letter. We don't know. We asked her flat out. You ask her what flat out? It is kind of curious, isn't it, Howard? It is kind of curious. That's how our mayor operates. So she said they couldn't be here, meaning she put the onus on them. It was them. They couldn't do it. Oh, so you ask her flat out why he wasn't there. Listen, Deb, I can't disagree. I cannot disagree. So when a spokeswoman for the Santa Rosa Medical Center said it was actually Lindsay who postponed the hospital's appearance, who you gonna believe? Who you gonna believe? I don't I don't get this stuff. I don't get it. We just thought it might be better for another evening. We were full or whatever. We didn't want to have the issues. Sorry for the inconvenience. He's not here tonight. We just canceled it. What else do you do? Why would you do that? What was the protest? The protest, well, we'll get to that in a minute. But the whole thing was um it just it just stinks. This whole thing stinks. What is it? I believe the spokesperson over the mayor. Well, I mean, why would you doubt the spokesperson? What do they have to gain from it? And but what does the mayor have to gain from it? Mayor can't help herself. Wants so badly to control. Oh my gosh. It just is the weirdest, dumbest thing. I- Can I ask you? I want to ask you a question. And I had this, I'll just say that I had this conversation with Howard last night. Is that they do the dumbest thing, whether it's the mayor, whether it's the county commission, whether it's the school board, they put themselves in precarious positions over nothing. They make it 10 times worse by not just saying the truth. Um, well, I don't know, but Tommy, did the spokesperson, the spokeswoman, scratch Mayor's back? I don't think so. Well, but here's the thing. I know. And thank you for correcting that, Sharon. God bless you for correcting your pronoun mistake. But it's just the dumbest. Why do you put yourself out there in such a precarious position when it would just been said, you know what? We just decided that it probably would be not be the best thing for them to show up tonight. Why lie? And the county commissioners do the same thing. The school board does the same daggone thing. Stop it. You lie about stuff that doesn't make a difference. It's inane. Oh, okay. So she's going to scratch his back, but otherwise, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. It was a tit for tat. Pardon my français. Tete. Uh, but you get what I'm saying. It just does. It just is the dumbest thing ever, and I don't get it. I cannot comprehend the mindset that goes into these people. I understand it's been going on for decades. I get it. I just don't know why. Why do you put yourself in a spot like that? But here's the thing, Roger. It's been going on for decades, yes, but you've not had social media and people watching you and able to get hold of this information like they do now. I think they believe the powerful, the people in the county are stupid. Yeah. Yep. Well, but again, I think it is all because of social media. Social media exposes them. It's on video. It's up there. It's the quotes are there. It's just the dumbest. Um, if they tell you the truth, they tell the truth. You might disagree, but it's over. Yes. Yes, exactly. How did you find out they canceled, and where's the video of the lie? All right. So, Elizabeth, the lie is on the video of well, the misstatement or whatever you call it. The conflict at the moment is on video from the council meeting. It's on YouTube. The spokeswoman was contacted by South Santa Rosa News. This is a story from South Santa Rosa News. And they contacted the spokeswoman. Because nobody called them out. Yeah. Well, it has to do with social media and people watching now. You look, people didn't used to pay attention to the board meetings, did they? Yeah, Romy's spot on. Romy's on it. Yeah, and there were people at the meeting. That's the thing, is there are now people paying attention to these meetings. So whether they go or whether they're watching them online, sharing clips, yeah. Yeah. You can't get away with it anymore. Now, again, we go back to Dan Schiebler's lie. We have it on video, him lying multiple times. And then it was discussed. You know that they saw it. Good for Romy. But we need people like Romy. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think that sounded bad. I'm sorry about that. We need people focused like that expose the nonsense. And as I read the letter, I knew that it was canceled, and I knew that the protesters showed up anyway. We'll get to the protesters in just a moment. But when I read this, I went, something's askew. Unfortunately, they were not able to be here this evening because I disinvited them, was the rest of that statement. The thing is that they don't care because they've gotten away with it with no backlash for so long. Tommy, I know who you mean, the powerful, but we just need to make sure we don't, us, the viewers, the risers, are clear with no pronouns. But so half-truths. But a half-truth is still a lie. Partial obedience is still disobedience. And you've got these people, the mayor, the council, the county commissioners, the school board, that are just these. It just is smarmy. Stop it. The mayor lied then to try to fix it at the end, saying she did have contact with the CEO earlier and that he had canceled only after the mayor was questioned. 95% of elected officials here. You do have some. You do have some good ones. But we have way over our share in this county. Yes, Jeff. You're in the good zone. Right. You tell the truth and there's no problem. Just say, hey, you know what? Just because we just felt that it was better for him not to come tonight, we'll do it another night or whatever. They were not able to be here tonight. And then you find out that the mayor disinvited them. Oh. Interesting. And that, my friends, is very, very interesting. Now, Molly Jones, a former Santa Rosa Medical Center nurse, says she lost her job last Friday over the hospital's new employee vaccine requirements and addressed the council. I'm not the only one Sills let go, she said. There are others who just won't get up and speak. Santa Rosa Medical Center issued a statement on the issue on Wednesday. It's not our practice to discuss individual personal matters. Our hospital stands firm in its commitment to maintain a safe environment for caregivers and patients. The majority of our caregivers already have chosen to be vaccinated, and more are making that choice now because we're forcing them to because they can't have a job if they don't. It's not really a choice if the gun is to your head. I just didn't want to deal with the protesters tonight. Yes, that's fine. You can say that. The mayor's always telling lies and half truths. Nothing new. Yeah, it's shame on them. Shame on them. But you can't make you can't make well, look. Hey, we've got people that are all kinds of people are making the decision every day. Convert to Islam or you die. Oh, you got a gun to your head. Your job is on the line or you don't work. Hey, I want you to think about all the money that you have spent on schooling. Right? Think about all the money you spent on your school, your nursing degree, and all that stuff. Do you really want to throw that down the drain because you don't want to get vaccinated? Ah, well, really. More are making the choice, the forced choice. While we have not yet mandated the COVID-19 vaccine, we recently implemented routine COVID-19 testing of any unvaccinated hospital and clinical staff to ensure the safety of our patients, colleagues, and others. Employees who do not comply with this routine testing are placed on unpaid leave. In light of the executive order requiring healthcare workers to be vaccinated, we'll begin work on implementation plans for that mandate. We are nice protesters that just want the truth. Absolutely. Every employer should weekly test all, including vaxxed. But you get a pass because you've been obedient. You are no longer a threat to my power because you submitted. We appreciate the cooperation of our employees during what is a challenging time for everyone in healthcare. Councilwoman Shannon Rice made a motion for the city to pass a resolution expressing its support of people's rights, including their freedom to make their own choices when it comes to wearing masks and any other COVID treatment. It was unanimously approved by her fellow council members. What did the mayor do? What did the mayor do during that time? It is, and it is all about control. Hospitals nationwide are reporting healthcare workers leaving when there's no end in sight and things are getting more dire by the moment. How much can a counselor do? I don't know. But you look, uh, we've heard time and time again the numbers of the vaccinated staff is low. It's low. It's small percentages, and they keep passing it off as it is big, and it's not. My wife works at the hospital. She got vaccinated due to all the deaths at the hospital due to D variant, including staff at the hospital. Sermon number 11 was the mayor talking down and belittling the council again. What was she belittling you about? I heard this, but I didn't know what the issue was that she was belittling you. What was the sermon the other night? It would destroy the narrative if the vax came back positive and unvax was negative. I know, but it's less. It's less severe. You got to back it up. But it shows that there's a stand. There wasn't any kind of problem. But what was the mayor's response? But what was the sermon about? That's what I want to know. 850-771-0049. I think that's legitimate. Hey, I want to thank our sponsor, Gulf Coast Gun. Go check them out, gulfcoastgun.com. I got my purchase last night. I picked it up. It's a nice one. I like it. It's a great purchase. Go make a purchase from Gulf Coast Gun. Tell them you saw it on the show. We appreciate them so much. All right. So we see this weird dynamic from the mayor. It's really weird. I didn't see the mayor's sermon, but can guarantee it included Jeff Snow bad. Yeah, well, I know, but I want to know what it was in particular. I wasn't able to view the show because the show, the meeting because of the audio issues, but we'll see. 850-771-0049. Mayor accuses the city council of what she does all the time. She basically insinuating wrongdoing by the council. Like what? That's pretty vague. Howdy, Ty. Have all the positives stopped among staff, or do they even track that? I don't know. Her sermon was because the council breathes. Well, that's Christine. The council meetings are much better than they used to be, as far as being more tame and shorter and that kind of thing, because there's not those that enable there anymore, and they're not as exciting as they were. But I do want to know, in particular, what she was griping about, what the sermon was. I think that ought to come off the table. Look, no more. Jeff Snow, Shannon Rice, hear me. No more letters that are anonymous can be read in the meetings. No more. We can't do that anymore. You're done. There's none of that. Right. You look, hey, listen, Kim, and you're exactly right. If she would just do her job and things would be so much smoother for her. She'd make life easier for her. Howard says she scolded the council for having us discussion on a budget amendment. Oh, that's right. There was a budget amendment. She felt it wasn't appropriate, and she lectured the audience on proper meeting etiquette. So an amendment or something was brought up into the budget, and she went off. Yep, scolded. What do you think about the resolution? Do you think it will help the people, the community, or will it just be words? Will people get back to their job? I think people are already back to their job here locally. Are you talking about the hospital? I don't know. I don't know what you can do about the hospital. Go watch the last 40 minutes of the city council meeting. City council meetings are much improved. Yes, Romy. It's frustrating when the mayor pontificates at length. Yeah. Or brings up the American Revolution. I watched that one again. I was like, yeah. Stop scolding. Not your job. You're not the mama Heather. We support you to do your job. Don't go beyond that. That's not your spot. That's not what you do. Nobody appreciates it. Nobody needs that. I don't know about the hospital, Renee. I just don't know. I don't think a resolution from the city council is going to change that, but it does make clear their stance. Housekeeping staff's been hit hard. One of the X-ray techs just died from COVID-19 variant, COVID-D variant. Well, I will tell you that the horse dewormer is working, and hydroxychloroquine is working. Maybe, Howard says, there needs to be an oath before the meetings to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. I don't know. Withhold funds from the hospital. Well, I don't know. Then are you accused of putting people's lives in danger? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Howard Christine says they'll probably still lie, and they may. Oh, you get it. You get it. A bunch of stuff moving here. Yes, side benefit of ivermectin, no parasites. Yep. The mayor. What's this? How do you know it was the D variant? You're exactly right, James. The mayor only tries to undermine the city council, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. Yeah, if look, if they're not doing it now, they're not going to do it by an oath every front of every meeting. But yeah, I don't know. Just the craziest. Just the craziest. Florida Commission on Ethics said in a report Thursday that there's no probable cause that Escambia County Commissioner Doug Underhill violated the state's ethics laws. Probable cause does not mean guilt, but the commission will now investigate 7 of 13 allegations that the commissioner misused his position. Among the allegations were the sharing of confidential information, failing to report gifts raised through GoFundMe account, and accepting and not disclosing donations from county vendor or lobbyist. He said, I'm very much looking forward to the investigation period of this. We're going to get to see some facts and see some of those things vetted in court. And I think, as with all the other ones in the past, once you see the investigation go to actually get done and the facts are presented, I think it'll come out very favorable, Underhill said. Look, Doug knows that he is under fire all the time. Burgash and all these guys hate him. And he gets it. He knows it. And he's ready for him. Withholding funds was a suggestion from one of the council members. No, I get it. But then are you accused of endangering lives for holding money? Because they withheld money, we couldn't do blah 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 X. So I don't know. Good morning, Steph. Was the person that passed away vaccinated? We don't know. And if you're unvaccinated, they're saying the COVID causes blood clots. So, you're known by your enemies. Yes. Stand up for the people. They'll come after you, meaning the powers that be. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. 2 brand new locally run steakhouses in Pace and Pensacola have closed as former manager alleges she and many others were not paid on time or at all. Here we go. Here's Isaiah's steakhouse. It's a casual dining restaurant opened in locations on Woodbine Road and North 9th Avenue between March and July. Both locations closed in August, about 3 weeks apart. Joe DeBella, the owner of the 9th Avenue property and former owner of Italy's Finest Pizzeria, said Isaiah's owner Isaiah Isaacson broke the leasing agreement on the property just 3 weeks into the deal. DeBella said he's in the process of pursuing legal action against Isaacson. He said Wednesday that he has not been paid for the duration of the lease. He called and said, I want out. And I said, well, you still owe me for the terms of the lease. He says, well, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. So I don't know what's going to happen now. Oh. So the lease that you signed, you don't have to. Well, you don't have to worry about it now, Kim. You don't have to worry about it. Pensacola resident Paige Brown was the district manager of both locations. Brown told the News Journal on Wednesday that she still owed more than $1,500 in earned wages. She said she and multiple other managers and staff members across the 2 restaurants quit in unison on August 13th over unpaid wages. She said she believes that was one of the driving forces behind the abrupt closures. Well, if you don't have any staff, you can't operate. And you're not going to operate with staff if you can't pay them. He closed the Pace restaurant because everyone kept quitting and they didn't have enough employees. And then, of course, he went on Facebook and said it was temporarily closed to give the current staff a break. He didn't mention the fact that he wasn't paying everybody and everybody quit. Brown said early on in her tenure, she had access to the business account that allowed her to track payroll and issue checks, but that changed. The business account was closed down at some point during the summer. He changed everything to a personal account. So from that point on, she had nothing to do with the money. But he still used her as a scapegoat. He'd say, Paige does payroll, talk to Paige. Anytime someone complained about having a check bounce or not being paid on time, he said lawyers reach out to us. He called the police, citing harassment when we all tried to do is get paychecks that were owed to them. Brown said Isaacson did send checks to managers that quit toward the end of August, but said her last check was well short of the salaried wage. He didn't pay her as a salaried employee. He paid her as an hourly, which is like $2 an hour? Minimum wage for the hours worked on her last paycheck. Now, I hate to see business go down. I hate it. I like... Now, here's my question. Why would you open up a second restaurant if the first one wasn't on solid ground? If you can't operate and staff one, how are you going to operate and staff two? Anybody? It doesn't make any sense. He was less than 3 weeks in on this location. I just don't understand. People just have no business sense. Oh my gosh. Yeah, too bad. I think it's too bad. Angie said she only ate there once, was disappointed, never went back. So if you got people that are having which location, Angie? Did you eat the one in Pensacola or the one in Pace? Maybe he thought the location would make it popular. I don't know. Well, it's just not good business. Anybody who knows it. I mean, if you open the first one, make sure it is running well before, and you got all the bugs worked out. I mean bugs. I mean it had bugs, but you know what I'm saying. Problems. Is the resolution helping people to get their jobs back? Find the businesses like our governor said. Oh, you're on the other thing. Okay, so Angie, you ate the one in Pace. So what was the issue? What were some of the problems you had there? And when was that? And did you complain to the manager? I think he thought to make him rich quick. Well, but if you don't have one running, how can you have two running? If you can't operate one, if you don't have your head out of your backside to operate one properly, how are you going to do two? You can't get staff for one. You can't have happy customers. Okay, things are really sucking here. I'm going to open up the next one. I'm going to lose money in two places because I'm that brilliant. I don't get it. I'm not. What do you think Renee, what do you think I'm doing? Do you think I'm arguing with you about that? I don't get it. Overpriced food and very uncomfortable seating and pace. Ate there not long after it opened. Okay. But was it good? I mean, was the food good? Maybe you wanted COVID money for two locations. I don't know. I don't know if it works that way. But he failed. You can't count on money that is not there. Right? I just it's wasted money and people are what is that? What is no? What is no? No one-word answers. Food was okay, not good enough to come back for. Gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense. So if he didn't have, and I wonder how many people ate there on a repeat. That's what you got to figure out when you're doing a restaurant. I've never owned a restaurant. Maybe some of you have. But wouldn't you kind of count on repeat business and say, okay, I've got this many repeat customers. They're coming from here and here and here. 2 months ago, it took 30 minutes to get our drinks, then another 30 minutes before they came back to get our order. Steak was not cooked right. Spoke to the manager. She had them cook another one. It wasn't right either. So she gave up. So we gave up and just paid and left. Manager didn't even offer some sort of discount. Food was good. Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. The food was not good. So why would you? Seating was so uncomfortable, I could not stay in the chair. So if you don't have a good business model, why are you opening a second restaurant? I don't know. Yeah. But I feel sorry for the employees. And the employees, according to the manager, well, we're all doing everything they could to make this thing go. We want to, this is a great place to work. We want to be here. And it's wasted. Why number two, they sucked. Right. Why would you open a second one? We suck so much. We stink so much on ice. We're going to open a second one. That's how brilliant we are at business. I don't know. First time dining experience in a restaurant determines 60, is it 80% of the time if a patron returns? Yeah. I was kind of curious as that as well. I was curious about that as well. I'm like, I hadn't heard good things. And it was just on Facebook. And sometimes, Facebook crowds can be kind of harsh. You talked about the mayor lying, then about what to do about people losing their jobs. Being in business is not for everyone. No, that is correct. That is correct. Maybe Isaiah might just be good as a chef. Just because you can cook doesn't mean you can run a restaurant. It's long hours. It's, you know what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that you're built for owning a business. It just means you can cook. Right? But that is a very difficult thing. That's just I feel sorry for the staff. He didn't take personal responsibility for the first failure. I thought a new location would do it. I don't know, but who fronted the money for this stuff? I don't know the guy. No, they're not hard. I was being facetious, William. Running a restaurant is one of the hardest to manage outside the food. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I don't pretend to know everything about it, but mercy. I didn't hear good things about it. Where's the restaurant? It's closed. There was one on Woodbine and there was one on 9th Avenue in Pensacola. I know the one in Pensacola was where the Italy's Finest restaurant was. But I don't know where it is. It was on Woodbine Road. That's what I said. All right. Enough of that. But you get it. Does anybody know the guy? Isaiah Isaacson? Does anybody know him? And what is, just weird. Long hours and very exhausting. It is. It is. Bad stuff. All right. A naked woman was rescued from a Florida storm drain after a bystander found her trapped inside with her legs bound together. A man was leaving the India's Grill on Cleveland Avenue in Fort Myers shortly after 2:30 in the afternoon when he heard a low-pitched voice calling for help and spotted the nude woman sitting at the bottom of the drain. Her legs were fastened together with straps, according to the report. Fire officials removed the heavy metal grate covering the drain and lifted her out before treating her on the scene. She was uncooperative and would not disclose any further information to authorities. Now, I get tired of this. You want to be rescued, you want to be treated, but you do not cooperate with authorities on how you got in this predicament. We see that from people being shot in Escambia. They're not cooperative with police. This woman was bound naked in the bottom of a storm drain, and she's uncooperative. Now, I think this woman was homeless, but what do you do with people like that? What do you do? Well, you're not gonna bind yourself and put yourself in the bottom of a drain. Maybe you'll walk around in the bottom drinking ginger ale for a week. I don't know. Fifth Amendment? What? People playing the victim makes it harder for real victims to get justice. They don't think that she did it to herself. But she was uncooperative. Now, here's the thing. She might have been in shock. Through her back. What is that? So, not incriminate herself. The story says that they didn't think she put herself down there. Well, she is homeless, but here's what should happen. They didn't say that she seemed crazy. They didn't say that she seemed like she was in shock. You got to go with what the story goes, right? And in this case, she was naked, bound in the bottom of a storm drain. They said she didn't do it to herself. They didn't say she was off her meds. They said she was homeless. Now, here's the thing. But look, you got people in Pensacola that are shot and they don't cooperate with police. Okay, fine. We're gonna treat you differently. We're gonna charge you for the call. For any medical thing you're getting, and we're not treating you. We're going to treat you, but you're paying full price and you're paying cash. And when you get out, you're going in jail until you can prove you can pay it, because you wasted resources. A crime was committed. If you're shot or if you're bound and thrown in a thing, listen. If she was in the drain and she's homeless, fine, we'll just put you back there. You don't want to cooperate? We'll just put you back. I don't know. That kind of stuff irritates me. It irritates me. I got to go forward because we got some other stuff to get a hold of. This was Don Lemon last night, waxing how philosophical and how brilliant he is. Listen to his comments in the banter between shows.
Coddling people when it comes to this and the vaccine, saying, oh, you can't shame them. You can't call them stupid. You can't call them silly again. Yes, they are. The people who aided and abetted Trump are stupid because they believed his big lie. The people who are not.
The people that aided and abetted Trump are stupid because they believed his big lie. You're dumb.
Who are believing the lies on the internet instead of science. It's time to start shaming them. What else? Or leave them behind. Because they are keeping the majority of Americans behind. You didn't feel that way about the polio vaccine. You don't feel that way about measles, mumps, rubella when it comes to your children, and all of a sudden this vaccine is different. What's different about it? The only different thing about
Yes, because it didn't have the trial period that those other vaccines had, you big moron.
your politics today. The people talking about, well, I don't know what's in the shot, Chris. I don't know what's in that shot.
I'll tell you what's not in it.
Hold on,
a tracking device.
Yeah. Let me finish this. You know what they get shots in nowadays? And
They go on the very weird stuff.
they're getting shots to make it bigger. They're getting shots in their face. They don't know what's in Botox. They don't know what's in this stuff. Nothing wrong with Botox.
People don't know what they.
Well, I will say this. No, I don't know all what's in Botox. However, Botox has been around for many years. It's been around for many years. I'll just say that.
Once my eyebrow went up. I don't have it now. As you can see, I got all these wrinkles. Everybody asks me when I'm going to get, you need Botox. But listen, nothing wrong with Botox.
Clearly.
But I'm saying, do people really know what's in stuff that they inject in their bodies all the time? And they're
What
like,
they eat, what they drink?
what they drink. Stop it. Stop it with the ignorance. And we have to stop saying, oh, well, you have to listen to people. And no, you don't. These people are being harmful to the greater good. You don't have to listen to a minority of people who are being harmful to the greater good and who are not acting on logic, reason, and science. I had an issue, I told you, Chris, when my family was here, and they were saying, well, I don't know, I just don't know. I said, you know how you got...
All right. Couple things. How are we harming the greater good? Anybody? Anybody? I don't know. Botox is not being mandated. It's not. Science, this is science from the people who think that there's 100+ genders. I don't know. Uh-oh, the greater good. You're right. You're right. Libin is a communist. He is a communist. That's why he sounds like one, because he is one.
You took an airplane. What is that? Science. Right? You know why people live to be older than 40, 50, 60 years old these days? Science.
That's engineering. It's engineering.
No one questions that. You know why people, you know what is so contradictory about it? When people get sick, they go into the hospital and they say, throw it all, give it to me, inject it, put it in me. And you're going to pay a whole lot of money. And you're going to tax the medical system when you could have gotten it for free and you wouldn't be in that position in the first place.
You're going to question the vaccine, but you want to take a horse dewormer. But look, here's the thing. I accept everything you've just said. Most of all, the idea that...
there it is. You won't take the vaccine, but you want to take a horse dewormer. Again, with the lies. Again, with the lies.
Be healed by the tyranny of a minority. Their stubbornness has to be their own consequence at some point, and the rest of us have to be able to live life.
Yeah.
Now, of a minority.
Yeah.
Their stubbornness has to be their own consequence at some point, and the rest of us have to be...
The tyranny of a minority. Oh, my word.
Now.
Exactly, Renee. I can't even. It's just the dumbest. Now, hear this. This is Joy Reid from the Readout. I'm playing these for you because the 15 people who watch these programs can't get it out, so I'm going to help them. All right, here you go.
Everyone, begin the Readout tonight with a message to Republicans. Okay.
Now, this happened right after Nicki Minaj was on her show, and Nicki Minaj is a rapper, and she's very anti-vaccine, and she's questioning it, and Reid they had a big sparring match, and now Reid is going off.
COVID is the precious, and you love it. You love COVID so much you want it to spread in the schools, at the office, in the Walmart, on the cruise ships, and at the club. That gray spongy ball with the red spikes, you want it pumping through your veins with an ivermectin chaser. Why do you love it so daggone much? Well, we have absolutely no bloody idea. But here's the thing, you weirdos.
Because you're an ignorant... I continue.
Everyone else hates COVID. It is ravaging classrooms and hospitals across the nation, like in Southern Illinois, where 0 ICU beds are available. Similar shortages are happening all over the South, including in Alabama, where a man's family said he died after being turned away from 43 hospitals. While in South Carolina, 20 children need critical care due to COVID-19. And do you see this beautiful couple? They both died in their 30s from COVID, leaving behind 5 kids, including a newborn daughter. So yeah, the rest of us hate that this is happening. Even the Pope. The Pope hates COVID too, and he loves everybody. He also says get vaccinated. Yet you Republicans seem to be A-OK with COVID running wild. And then you came for California, trying to boot a Democratic governor from a blue state and hand it over to the COVID candidate.
I don't believe the science suggests that young people should be vaccinated. I don't believe the science suggests that young people should have to wear masks at school. I'm not sure the science is settled on that at all. And young people are not likely to contract the coronavirus. And when they do, their symptoms are likely to be mild, and they're not likely to be hospitalized, and they're certainly not likely to die.
If misinformation could kill, it all helps to explain why.
Now, Larry Elder was correct. He is quoting Fauci. That's Fauci's line.
Beat the recall effort, and by a lot, winning support from more than 60% of the electorate. According to exit polls, the most important issue for voters was the coronavirus. And when asked about the governor's job on COVID, 65% said his policies were about right or not strict enough. So Republicans, your thirst for COVID is why you lost. Nobody likes your policies that threaten our safety and our kids. You may want COVID. You may want to ingest horse dewormer and attend far too many funerals, but we don't. And instead of just saying that.
Horse dewormer. There it is again. That is their thing. Even though that has been proven false, there it is again.
Fighting about that, California voted that. It is perhaps the first real, tangible proof that your creepy little COVID-loving death cult ways are not going to work for you at the ballot box next year. In fact, it's political suicide and also apparently talk radio.
Death cult. You are a creepy little death cult. Okay, thank you.
Because your brilliant little COVID plan is killing your right-wing hosts. The majority of us Americans want things like, I don't know, better infrastructure, good schools, gun reforms, jobs, and the right to vote. You know what else we want? We want to live, not die from COVID. You know what else we want? We want to live, not die from COVID.
There you go. There you go. There's Joy Reid and her stupid. You're welcome, Roger. But you got to see. You've got to see what they're talking about. You have to see this stuff. Now, I do want to put up. I want to talk about Bill Maher. Bill Maher from his HBO show, Real Time. Not a conservative. Not a conservative. I want you to hear this from Bill Maher. HBO's Real Time host Bill Maher blasted the liberal media on Wednesday for scaring the crap out, and I use crap, out of people during the coronavirus pandemic. And they said they need to take responsibility for those afraid to leave their homes as a result of fear-mongering coverage. I have to cite a survey that was in the New York Times, which is a liberal paper, so they weren't looking for this answer, Mayer said. The question was, what do you think the chances are that you would go to the hospital if you got COVID? And Democrats thought it was way higher than Republicans. Mayer continued in the clip flagged by Newsbusters, the answer is between 1% and 5%. Mayer noted a whopping 41% of Democrats thought it was over 50%. While it's between 1 and 5, Democrats thought it was over 50%, while 28% thought it was 20 to 49% of COVID patients wind up in the hospital. 70% of Democrats thought it was way, way, way higher than it really was, Mayer said. Liberal media has to take a little responsibility for that, for scaring the crap out of people. Kimball admitted there's a lot of fear right now and asked Mayer if it's possible for people on different sides of the political spectrum to come together. That's a great question. And to me, one of the keys to that is to stop talking about it. Stop talking politics. When I was a kid, you may remember the same thing. People didn't talk politics all the time. There's no Facebook. Facebook should go back to being what it should be. Humble brags, cat videos, finding out who from your high school is gay, fat, or dead. But instead, it's people arguing with some kid who went to third grade with Brett Kavanaugh. And Bill Maher's right. Bill Maher is correct. He is embarrassed by the left and their approach to the COVID. He is absolutely over these guys. Good morning, Stanley. It's just so crazy. And Bill Maher says, you can see what the media is doing by looking at the poll. It's between 1% and 5% end up in the hospital. And the Democrats are believing, because of the media, that it's over 50%. If you get COVID, you're going to wind up in the hospital. 50% believe that. My grandmother told me not to talk about politics, pay, or church. Well, that's hard for me because I'm a preacher and a talk guy. So you're going to have a hard time talking to me. If you want, then you get the vax. Exactly. But the whole thing is they are trying to scare you. And Bill Maher says they're trying to scare the crap out of people. And it is reflected in the numbers. Holy smokes, my friends. Holy smokes. There's nothing in that statement that I disagree with Bill Maher about. What did they do? I'm going to leave that alone. 850-771-0049. Almost out of time this morning, though. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki dismissed concerns about President Biden's recent coughing during speeches, saying she's not concerned when asked during a White House press briefing on Thursday. Here it is. Here's the video for that.
Or even climate. And that's what he feels the United States should be focused on.
One very different, separate. Many of us were in the East Room watching the president. We've seen him on many occasions where he has a repeated cough. What is the situation with that cough, and is that a concern?
It's not a concern. We have a doctor who travels with him, obviously, who checks in if it is ever warranted, and certainly that continues to be the case, as it has been since the beginning of his presidency.
Is there an explanation for why he coughs so frequently in situations like that? I'm sure you saw it.
I did. I don't think it's an issue of concern. I think there are a range of reasons why we may need to clear our throat, or we may have a little light cold, and that's certainly something that presidents, elected officials, reporters, spokespeople can confront, but it's not an area where we have a medical concern.
Go ahead.
Right now, he does have, find this, he does have a doctor on hand all the time. However, do you really think that if this moron got sick, that they would tell you? Do you think they would really share with you the truth? Unless it was to their advantage? I don't think so. All right, kids. God bless you. Thanks so much. Please like the video, share the video, share the link. Don't just share a picture of it. Share the link and let others know. Hey, we love you. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Stay inside because it's kind of wet and messy. So just don't go out if you don't have to. All right. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you Monday morning. Stay strong. All right. Have a good one, Risers.